Greetings to all who are joining me today on this for this reading. This book is The Beastly Tales. Beastly Tales is going to be about a four-part series to this. So this first one will be part one, obviously, and the others will be all about in three or four parts. The Loch Ness Monster, Yeti, Bigfoot. These are all mysteries. Nobody really knows. People think they have seen these or have accounts of these creatures or beasts of nature. But nobody really knows because probably all Loch Ness Monster, Yeti, and Bigfoot are all good at hiding from people. First, we'll look at some glossary pages, some interesting words. Abominable snowman, Bigfoot, cryptoclitus, evidence, eyewitness, glacier, Himalayas, kelpie, kraken, Loch Ness Monster, mountaineer, plaster, cast, plesiosaur, prehistoric, Sasquatch, Sherpass, sonar scanner, yak, and yeti. Go back to our first page of the story to read a little bit about the Loch Ness Monster. Beastly Tales, Yeti, Bigfoot, and the Loch Ness Monster. Believe it or not, all around the world people tell stories about seeing mysterious monsters in remote places. The storytellers are often accused of making things up, but sometimes a discovery is made that proves them right. Mountain gorillas were discovered by European explorers in 1902. The Komodo dragon is a meat-eating lizard that can grow bigger than a person, but no one knew about it until 1912. The kraken of old Norwegian tales is now believed to be the giant squid, which can grow twice as long as a bus. Few people believe the stories about a man-like ape in Africa, a dragon in Indonesia, or a huge sea monster with long tentacles. However, we now know these creatures are as the mountain gorilla, the Komodo dragon, and the giant squid. Could there be another could there be other large creatures still undiscovered in the world? Of course. We don't know. They're all a mystery. What do you do when you hear about a mystery? Do you believe it or not? If you see it, do you believe it or not? The Loch Ness Monster. Dad, what's that in the loch? Shouted Jim Aiton. It was a calm summer's evening in 1963. Jim was working on his father's farm on Loch Ness, a lake in Scotland. When he looked up to see a strange creature moving silently down the lake, it was huge. Jim had never seen anything like it before. Loch Ness. Loch Ness is a long, narrow lake surrounded by mountains. It is in a part of Scotland where people live. Two men nearby heard Jim's shouts and rushed to join him and his father. The excited group wanted a closer look. They ran to the lake, climbed into a boat, and headed straight toward the creature. I wonder, will they see anything? The creature's head looked a bit like a horse's head, only bigger. Its neck stretched nearly 6 feet, 2 meters, as tall as a full-grown man. Its snake-like body was as long as a bus. Could it be the legendary Loch Ness Monster that people had talked about for years? Suddenly, the creature rose out of the water. Then it dived. An enormous wave hit the small boat. It rocked and swirled around. Had the creature seen the men? Was it about to attack? It looks a little angry. A few seconds later, the creature's head reappeared. It was farther away now. The monster seemed more frightened than ferocious. Then it was gone. The men searched and searched for it, but they never saw it again. It was 20 years before anyone heard the story about what had happened that day. Jim and his father didn't think many people would believe them. But the Aitons and their friends are not the only people who claim to have seen the mysterious monster. This photograph, taken by monster hunter Anthony Shields 14 years after the Aiton sighting, seems to show the monster just as the Aitons described it. Maybe it was just a log sticking out of the water. Who knows? Or a tree. A deep, dark lake. If you were to view the lake, it would be hard to imagine that it has a depth of more than 700 feet, 213 meters. That's deep enough to hide a 42-story building. 42 stories. And imagine each story is about 8 feet tall. 42 stories. One of the earliest known sightings was made more than 1,400 years ago by Saint Columba, a traveling Irish holy man. Legends tell how in 565 AD, the saint saw a water monster attack a swimmer in Loch Ness. When the saint ordered it to leave the swimmer alone, the monster retreated immediately. Saint Columba is featured on a stained glass window in a Scottish castle chapel. Loch legends. There are many legends of water monsters living in other Scottish lakes. The Scottish people call these monsters kelpies. Loch Ness Monster first became famous in 1933 after a road was built around the steep sides of the Loch Ness Valley. The tourists could now explore the remote area for the first time. It was not long before reports of monster sightings began appearing in newspapers all around the world. The haunts of the monster. The monster is the star attraction on this 1930s postcard from Loch Ness. Where this road was recently built within the last 100 years or so. So nobody really ever went around that lake. It was only through on boat. Now people were able to go around the lake on a car. So now they're going to see some things they've never seen. Spotting the monster soon brought rewards. Newspapers would pay a lot of money for a photograph of the monster, even if it was blurred. Fortune seeker scientists and monster enthusiasts swarmed around the loch, all wanting to take the best monster picture ever. Over the years, the searchers used more and more modern equipment. In 1972, an underwater camera produced a close-up of a strange object in the loch. When scientists used a special computer to sharpen up the image, this is what they saw. Could it be one of the monster's flippers? It's in dark water. How can you tell? The underwater photographs seem to show a flipper, but no one can be sure because the image is so grainy. It is hard to see or take photograph in the lake water because it is full of tiny pieces of peat or dead plant material. What are these boats doing? I guess we'll read on to find out. In 1987, a team of scientists searched the loch with high-tech equipment for a project called Operation Deep Scan. A line of 19 boats, each fitted with a sonar scanner, moved up the loch. What they discovered amazed them. Sonar scanners. A sonar scanner sends out sound waves. The sound waves bounce back off objects in their way, making a picture of the objects on the sonar screen. So they basically took a picture of all 40 of all the deep water in there. Some scans showed huge objects moving deep in the lake. The objects were bigger than sharks but smaller than whales. Were they huge fish? Or was it a family of Loch Ness monsters? Again, the murky water kept the scientists from knowing the answers. The diagram shows how the boats with sonar scanners moved in a line so that no part of the loch would be missed. Without clear pictures, scientists must rely on people's descriptions to know what the monster looks like. It seems that the creature has a long, thin neck, a bulky body with 4 flippers, and a long, powerful tail. Artists used eyewitness descriptions to design this model of the Loch Ness Monster. The animal living today fits this description. However, one prehistoric creature does. No animal living today fits this description. However, one prehistoric creature does. Those are fossils. This fossil skeleton of Cryptoclydus is twice as long as an adult person. Cryptoclydus. Cryptoclydus was a plesiosaur, a huge fish-eating reptile that lived in the sea. Some people think it looked a lot like the Loch Ness Monster. However, Cryptoclydus is thought to have disappeared from Earth 70 million years ago. Could it have lived on unnoticed? Some animals know how to hide. Is the Loch Ness Monster a survivor from the dinosaur age? Or were the people who saw it simply fooled by boats, logs, shadows, or giant eels? Could some of the sightings be the result of practical jokes? No one knows the truth yet. From a distance, it would be easy to mistake this log for a monster. Could everyone Could everyday things like this explain some of the Loch Ness Monster sightings? We never know. Next is Yeti. So look for it. To conclude with this from this story, you can actually go online, look for the movie The Water Horse, Legends of the Deep. Pretty cool movie about a kid and how he found an egg at the shore of his lake. Something happened to that egg. Look for it and enjoy it. I think you'll like it.